This video brings together two incredible 400-meter races that highlight both the future and the present of women's sprinting. On one side, we break down the intense CARIFTA U-20 final, where rising stars from the Caribbean battle for dominance, and where Guyana shocks Jamaica in a dramatic showdown. On the other, we analyze the world-class performance of Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who once again proves why she stands alone at the top of the sport. From tactical execution to raw speed and race strategy, this video dives deep into what separates young talent from established greatness.
Springer, she's an outstanding competitor. She's done such great things. The South American record for under 20 already. She was the Commonwealth Youth Games champion last year, still yet to turn 17. Abigail Campbell,
on your marks.
Outstanding competitor as well.
Abigail Campbell won the under-17 400 title at CARIFTA in 2022. Has run as fast as 52.27 this season. She is the fastest in the field, but the Guyanese athletes look well poised to push her all the way. Off they go. Under 20 girls 400 final. Shanku Williams of Jamaica, like she usually does, goes out quickly. She's in lane number 6. Already flying by McPherson of Guyana and going out to the Bahamian Shania Adderley. They get up to 200 meters. Charles of St. Vincent and the Grenadines also going well. Springer of Guyana and Abigail Campbell of Jamaica with some work to do. Shanku Williams has gone really quickly here for the first 300. Springer and Campbell start to move as they enter the straightaway. Charles is in second position for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Shanku Williams leads. Here comes Tiana Springer. The Guyanese has the advantage. It's going to be Tiana Springer. The under-17 champion from last year becomes the under-20 champion this year.
We can't wait until we see this time, because where it stopped on the screen and in the field is confusing me.
This is a terrific performance. Told you in qualifying, she is no ordinary athlete. And she produces a sensational performance. I think especially the champion in under-17 division in 2022, Abigail Campbell, will be disappointed with her own tactics. But no issues from this young lady. 52.31. It's a lifetime best for her. She is CARIFTA under-20 champion.
Coach Mark Scott will be pleased. The police club, Chase Academy over in Guyana, will be absolutely pleased. And I'm sure our guest here this evening, Alian Pompey,
all the Guyanese are proud. My heart was in my microphone, essentially, but the level of composure that she showed. I mean, the Jamaican athlete, Miss Williams, went out so hard. I don't know, it takes a level of composure I'm not sure I ever had to kind of keep your mental focus and stick to your race plan all the way through. But after that, with 120 to go, she made a decisive move and just kept going. And it was beautiful to watch, beautiful to watch.
Just 17 years old, has a couple more years left in this division, going from not something we see very often, especially in the sprints, going from being the under-17 champion to now under-20 champion in the space of 1 year.
Well, Adidas has already realized her talent. They've signed a nil deal with her at just 16 years old and changing the game. Nil. And Tiana Springer strikes gold in the under-20 division at the CARIFTA Games in a personal best 52.31. Abigail Campbell 52.85, down on her personal and season's best. Shanku Williams of Jamaica.
Which would be a shame. She's been a brilliant athlete her whole career and would be, or is, enjoying being part of Grand Slam. Sian Salmon, decent draw for her in 7 years. She was 6th in the hurdle event. Just need to judge this right, the athletes. I think Sydney will certainly be able to do that. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, done this so many times. Such a great exponent over all the sprints, never mind with there's hurdles in the way. Rochelle Clayton, 32-year-old Jamaican, has run a flat 400 already this year, and a fairly swift 52.3 thereabouts. Not too far off that personal best, you can see in the caption. Adrianette Knight, her teammate, similarly indoors for her though, 52.8. Normally you run quicker outdoors than indoors. So this is Peters of the Netherlands, a big part of the Dutch very successful 4x4 and mixed 4x4 squad that does so well at Olympics and Worlds. And then Cassandra Tate of the USA on the inside. Just might find the others moving away from her here, particularly I think with Peters in the lane 3. Just got held a little bit longer by the starter there, but they're away and gone. McLaughlin-Levrone already making ground, and we've just had a pull-up from Rochelle Clayton, who's pulled up in the first 100 meters, maybe trying to hang on to the American, who knows. Going very quickly, Cassandra Tate, right on the inside, has started exceptionally quickly through the first 200 meters, but it's McLaughlin-Levrone out in lane 6, smoothly making her way around the top end. Cassandra Tate, eyed on the inside, has run an excellent first 300, but is she going to pay for that as they come into the wind in the home straight? Sydney out on her own as we expected it to be, then it's going to be a real scrap for the minor places behind her. Tate is just starting to tread water in the home straight there, but it's Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone who's going to come through to make it 2 wins in the women's long hurdles. It's 50.32. Knight just took second place. It was tough out there. The wind was never going to make that easy, but the victory was never really in doubt. It was just a case of how quick and by how far. Well, the answer was almost 2 seconds, which in the 400 meters is a long, long way. It has to be said, though, that Knight has run her season's best, and Dalila Muhammad in the 52-second mark. So there's our winner. There's our slam winner, our final slam winner of the first Grand Slam track. As we said, if you're going to run that quick for 400 hurdles, of course you can run quick on the flat.
Yeah, being able to run 48 seconds in the flat 4 as a 4 hurdler is unheard of. She ran 22 seconds into a headwind in the 200 last season. So speed-wise, she's not even comparable to some of these women out here. So I think she may even surprise us later on in the year and say, look, I'm going to go to the World Championships to run the 4.
Or maybe the 800.
I don't know about that.
I would love to see her run an 800 or 2, but I don't know if she wants to.
But I mean, really, just going through the motions here and just securing the money, you know, it's an easy 400,000 for her if she goes through all 4 and dominates the way she's doing. But if she wants to really test herself and test some of the other competitors and show what she can do in other events, she's gonna jump in that long sprints and go against some of those other women in that 4 and that deuce.
Well, MJ enjoyed it. You may hear the party's already started here in the stadium. There was a big win that Cassandra Tate went through the first 300 meters. She must have only been about 4 or 5 meters behind her, but look where she finished in the end.
The two 400-meter races, one from the CARIFTA U-20 stage and the other featuring the global dominance of Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, offer a fascinating contrast between emerging talent and established greatness, while also highlighting a shared theme, the shifting balance of power in women's sprinting. At the CARIFTA Games, the under-20 girls 400-meter final unfolded as a tightly contested regional battle where national pride and rising potential drove every stride. Jamaica, traditionally a sprinting powerhouse, entered the race with strong expectations. Abigail Campbell, the fastest entrant with a season best of 52.27, carried the weight of those expectations, backed by her previous CARIFTA success. Alongside her, Shanku Williams added depth to the Jamaican challenge. However, what unfolded was not a continuation of dominance, but a disruption. Guyana's Tiana Springer emerged as the defining force of the race. Already decorated as an under-17 champion and South American U-20 record holder, Springer demonstrated a level of composure and race intelligence that set her apart. While the Jamaican athletes relied on early pace and established credentials, Springer executed a more controlled and strategic race, Her ability to maintain form through the final 100 meters proved decisive, allowing her not only to challenge, but to surpass the Jamaican contenders. Supported by her compatriot Nerissa McPherson, Guyana effectively turned the race into a statement performance, one that signaled a new competitive threat in Caribbean sprinting. In contrast, the professional stage in Kingston presented a different kind of race dynamic, one defined not by unpredictability, but by supremacy. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone delivered a performance that was less about competition and more about control. Clocking 50.32 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles despite a headwind, she once again demonstrated that she operates in a category of her own. Unlike the CARIFTA race, where momentum shifted and outcomes remained uncertain deep into the final stretch, McLaughlin-Levrone established her authority early and never relinquished it. The field she faced was far from weak. Delilah Muhammad, a former Olympic champion and one of the most respected figures in the event, brought experience and legacy into the race. Athletes like Adanette Knight, Relly Clayton, and Cassandra Tate added both speed and tactical aggression. Tate's explosive start mirrored the kind of early race intensity seen in the CARIFTA final, but at this level, such an approach without perfect distribution often leads to collapse, which is exactly what happened as she faded outside the top 5. Meanwhile, Clayton's early exit removed another potential challenger, further clearing the path for McLaughlin-Levrone. What connects these two races is not just the distance, but the narrative of transition. At CARIFTA, the shift is geographical and generational. Guyana rising to challenge Jamaica's long-standing sprint dominance. In Kingston, the shift is hierarchical. McLaughlin-Levrone elevating the event to a level where even elite competitors struggle to remain relevant. One race is defined by emergence, the other by separation. Another key difference lies in race execution. The CARIFTA final was shaped by variability, multiple athletes with similar capabilities, small margins, and a decisive final phase where composure determined the outcome. In contrast, McLaughlin-Levrone's race was defined by precision. Every stride, every hurdle clearance, and every phase of the race was controlled to near perfection. Where the young athletes raced each other, she raced the clock, and won convincingly. Ultimately, these performances together illustrate the full spectrum of the 400 meters in women's athletics. At one end, the raw, unpredictable energy of youth competition, where new stars like Tiana Springer begin to reshape regional hierarchies. At the other, the refined dominance of an athlete like Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who is not just winning races, but redefining what is possible in the event.